Assalamu alaikum, welcome to another tutorial of UK Textions. Today we will discuss about Python. What is Python? Python is an object oriented programming language. It's a high level language and general purpose language. Python is easiest programming language than Java, C or C++. It's used to make web applications, GUI or desktop applications or use big data. So to start Python, we have to download its application, desktop application, to run our code. So let's type Google over here, right, and then download Python, and then click this link and then download this. So after downloading Python, you will get this file, you will get this execution file in your downloads. Double click on this window will appear. Because I have already installed Python, I don't want to uninstall or repair or modify. So you will just want to click install on this next install in the wherever you want to install it, and click install, and then it will install. After installation, you will get this window, right? So let me create a new window over here, new file over here, and we delete it. Okay, so you will get this window, right? So before starting, save this file as first Python. .py. py is the extension of file, right? So let me show you. Type print, open bracket, open quotation, say hi, close quotation, close bracket, and then press F5 or use run module. After run module, it will say source must be safe. Okay, so let's save this, and this will print hi, right? It's the easiest language ever. So let me show you how it will work with variables and strings. So we are writing over here in this file, and we'll execute this code in this file, right? So let's say, so there are some basic rules to learn Python. Like if I want to comment the code, I will say comment this code, right? So let's save it and run it. It will just print hi, right? So in Python, we don't want to initialize data with its data type, right? I don't want to write int a equals to 0. So what it will do, it will says after running. So let's save and then run. So it will says invalid syntax because data types are not valid in Python. So what we have to do, we just want to say a equals to 0, and we don't need to use terminator over here, right? So let's print a and save it, and F5, and let's wait. So what says hi 0, right? So if I want to print a variable with a text, right, or with a string, so let me say a value is, and then concatenate sign plus, and then print. Let me save and run it with F5. What it says, trace back. It shows an error, only type error only can concatenate a string or int or to a string, because we cannot use here a variable with a string value, right? If we says 2 plus a, what it will say, let's save it and run, it will display 2. So what it says, we can't print a string with an integer, right? So what we can do here, print a string Uruj, then plus, and then space Khalid. What it will say is, you can print it. Let's save and F5. What it says, okay, I just forgot to mention here. So let's run, control save and F5. What it says, Uruj Khalid, right? So these are the basic things we have to discuss while learning Python. So let's start with variables, right? So let's start with variables. So first point is, we can't use data types to initialize a variable. Like I can say x equals to 2, y equals to 4, and z equals to 0, right? Let's print this message by multiplying these values. So x multiplied by y multiplied by z, what it will return? It will return 0. So let's F9. So what it returns? It returns 0 over here, because 2 into 4 equals to 8, 8 into 0 equals to 0. So what it's print? 0, right? So we can also use a string with a equals to, okay, I have used a, so let's b equals to Khalid and print b. Let's save it and run it with F5. What's it say? Khalid. Okay, so after printing b, what we have to say, we can store string values like this with single and double quotation. String variable with single and double quotations, right? So how can we a print c, okay, and e equals to a and print e. So let's save it and run it with F5. It says a string can store with single quotation and a string can store value with double quotation. So that's it for today. Hope you will like this video. If you like this video, do comment, subscribe and share it with your friends. Also like our Facebook page, which is UK Tection, and I will share the link in the description. Stay connected, stay safe and stay happy, healthy. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of Wiki Textions. If you are still not subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel and also like my Facebook page. So let's begin with Python, variables, data type and collection of data. So it's my second tutorial on Python. So let's say, to check it's working, print message hi and save it and F5 and it will run, right? Variables can be int, string, float, and complex boolean etc. We know about integer, string, float, but we don't know about complex. Complex is a variable in which we can save number values like I equals to 5, but after 5 I add here j, which is imaginary variable, like imaginary. I can say j is imaginary, right? So let's print it. Complex, sorry, I, and let's save it. Let's save it and F5, and it will display 5j. Okay, so variables can be int, string, float, complex, boolean. But if I want to say what is the type of variable I store in I, how do I get it? Like print type, and here is a bracket, save, again save it F5, and it will says it's a type of complex, right? Variable I is a data type of class complex. Typecast is to change the variable or convert the variable type of another variable. Like I have a variable a over here which is a string variable, and I have a variable b over here which type is int, right? So I want to change the type of a variable from string to int. What I will say b equals to s int a, and then save it and print it in this, save it and F5. What it will return? It will say the value of the value of b is now a, which is 5, and it's typecast into int. So let's see another example of typecast. We have a variable b which is int, and I want to make it float. What I will do, I will say is float and variable b, and then b, print b and save it, and F5. What it will display? 5.0, right? So now let's talk about data types. Data types that collects multiple data, right? Which is list, set, tuple, range, and dict. To initialize a list, we have a variable here which I will say is list of strings, right? Equals to square bracket, quotations, then so after in storing data we have to use this is square bracket, close square bracket, and remove this and this. So let me store here a, then b, then c, then d, and then e. So let's print this, print list string and save it, Control S and F5, and let's print. So what it prints, it's print a list, right? So let's add some more items in list by string list dot insert. To insert, we have to say we on fifth index add f, right? And then print again, print list, string, then save it and F5. So in Java, C or C++, the list or the work of list is same as in Python. Alright, so let's discuss about tuple. Tuple is also like list, but the difference in tuple, the values cannot swap with each other, right? Or we cannot change the alignment of the list. So we type F G H I J and K. So let's print this tuple. So let me copy this value over here and print it and save F5. So what it prints, same G H I J K. So let me show you the methods of tuple string. So it says count or index. So in tuple we cannot add or delete or update the items. We can only get these two methods, count or index. We can only do it here while initializing the array. While initializing the tuple L. So let's run it, save it and run it. So it says L over here, but we cannot replace or add or delete these item in tuple. So let's talk about set. Set is also a data type which store values, and we cannot set duplicates value in set variable. So let's try set strings, right? So equals to same, we use curly brackets over here and initialize the values like same in tuple, but we cannot store duplicate values over here. So let me say 1. So let me store it as int values here. Remove this and store 1 2 4 6 2 3 5 6 4 and let's print. What it will display, let's see. It will remove the duplicates value, save and F5. Okay, so what it does, it remove the duplicates value. 4 is used 2 times over here, 2 is used 2 times over here, and 6 is also used 2 times over here, but it prints 1 time over here. So what is the purpose? So let's discuss about range. What is range? Number equals to range. The number of range is equals to 8. What it will print number, save and print. Okay, the range says the range of these variable is from 0 to 9. So how to use range, we will discuss it later when we use loops. And so let's use dict. What is dict? Dict is like hash map or mapping data with keys and values. So let's talk about dict. It's sort of dictionary, right? So a equals to store key here, which is 1, and the value of key is a, and let's print a. So I have to remove this a because I mentioned here a. So let me change this type to dict test. So let's save it and F5. So it says the key is 1 and the value is a. So let's say dict. So we will say get key, and in get we will type 1 here and then closing bracket over here, save F5, and it will say the value of 1, key 1 is a. So let's add more values over here, which says 2 colon value b, then comma, to store multiple keys and values, 3 colon c. So what it does, it's storing the key 1 in which value is a, in key 2 the value is b, and in key 3 the value is c. So let's print 2, okay, and print 3, and also I want to print whole dictionary. So what it does, it prints the keys value over a, b, c, and also print whole dict values, and it also print the whole variable values over here, which says the value of 1 is a, the value of 2 is b, and the value of 3 is c. So hope you will like this video. If you like this video, do comment, share and subscribe. Also like our Facebook page, which is UK Techians. We will continue making tutorials on Python, C, Java, etc. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay safe. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of UK Techians. Today we will discuss about operators. What are operators? So our topic for today is operators. These are the symbols used in Python for logical and arithmetic computation. The types of operators. So we are discussing today about arithmetic, logical, assignment and relational. Let's start with arithmetic, which are plus, minus, multiply, divide and modulus, and so on. For arithmetic, we have to initialize two variables over here. One is a equals to 8 and b equals to 9. So let's print them. A into b, the answer, then print a plus b, an answer, print a divided by b, and answer. So here I will say print 8. Print a modulus b answer, and then print b minus a and answer it, and see what the results are. Okay, so these are the result in multiplication, add, divide, modulus, and minus, right? So after arithmetic, let's discuss about assignment operators. Assignment operators are equals to, less than equals to, greater than equals to, and so on, plus equals to, minus equals to, and so on. What are assignment operators? To assign values to a variable. So let's say a is equals to b, and now I want the value of a equals to 9 and b is equals to 10, right? So I am assigning the value of a equals to 9 and b equals to 10. So if I want to say b equals to b plus equals to a, so what will be the value? Let's print the value. So we are using assignment operator here to calculate the value of b. So let's run it and we will get 19. What it say is b plus a equals to the value of b, right? So these are the assignment operators. So if we says here is a, if a is less than equals to b, print a, right? Else print b, right? So let's run it. So I forgot to type here colon, so let's run and see what the value is. Okay, and says 9. What is the value of a? A is less than b, so it prints 9, right? So assignment operators are also easy one. So let's talk about logical operators, right? And or not, and we can say if a equals to b and b equals to a, print, right? Save. Right. So what it says, okay, so when it says else will be here, so else will be here. So let's save it and run. So what it says false, because a is not equals to b and b is not equals to a, so it returns false in this case. they intend the error, but there is a space over there. So Python is case sensitive, have to remove white spaces whenever we find syntax error. We are using if else again is equals to b or b equals to, what is the value of b here? B is now 19, right? Because we add the, so then print b else print value of a. So do you know and or operator, what and do and what or operators do? And means both the values should be true, and or means one of the two of the one value should be true, returns true. So let's run it and see what will occur here. So it says 90 because when we run this code the value of b returns 19. So let's discuss about not operators, which is important in this discussion. If not a equals to b or b equals to 19, then print a else print b. And right, so the value of a is not equals to b and b equals to 90. So what not says if the value if the condition true here, return false here, right? So and if the value is true here, return false here, and if the value is false here, return true here, right? Not means to reverse the condition. Same the meaning of not equals to 10, so it will say this as true. So it will say true, but the actual answer is false. So let's see what it will print over here. Save it and run it. So what it say after printing false here? It says 19 and then 9. What is 9? It says the condition is false because whenever we use and, both conditions should be true. But when the condition is one condition is false and one condition is true, the condition will return false. So here it prints, I guess it's print 9. So it says condition is true. And let me write over here, the condition is false, but it returns true, right? So let's learn about comparisons. So we can say assignment operators and comparison operators are two different things, because assignment operators are used to assign some values to a variable and comparison operators are to compare some values of the variables. So let's compare a value over here. A is less than B. So if it's true, print true. If false, if false, print false. Let's run it and see what are the results. Okay, so it says A is less than B and it's returned true. Okay, now again we will say that A is less than equals to B, which is says yes, true. So let me say greater than, right? Greater than equals to. So let's print true over here, and else false, print false over here. So let's save it and then F5 and then the tutorial. So it says false. So hope you will like this video on operators. If you want to ask any question, feel free to ask questions on comment section. I will reply soon. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page, which is UK Techians. Catch you soon with another tutorial. Inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of UK Techians. Today we will discuss about statements in Python. So after executing print hi, let's initialize some variable to test if else condition. So start A, B, C, D equals to A equals to 1, B equals to 4, C equals to 5 and D equals to 8. To check whether we initialize it correctly, let us print a value over here. You can print anything, D variable, save it, and F5 and it's print D equals to 8. So let's check the if statement. So let's discuss about the syntax of if statement, which is easy. So let's say B is greater than A and then colon. So we are here writing our condition and colon is used as condition is and over here, then indentation, which means in other language we use curly brackets, in Python we use white space. Print B, right? If B is greater than A, then print B. So let's save it and F5 and what it will print 4, right? So let's also B is less than D. So if we giving some space over here, what it will do, it will run or not. Let me show you. So we says B is less than over here D, so it's print, right? So this condition is also executed because we have declared the condition correctly. So let's talk about else if statement. So in Python we use else if condition is elif, right? The syntax is same as if statement, but the keyword is elif. So let's say if B is greater than B is less than A, print B. And then else if A is less than B, sorry, I just forgot to mention colon over here. Then print A. Wait, what it will print? Let's see. So what it prints 1 over here. So the syntax of Python programming language is more easier than C, C++ or Java, and easy to understand. So let's take another example of a statement else, right? Else is also a statement. If the result of else statement, right, the keyword is same as else. If a statement returns false, else will return true, right? If else if returns false, then the last statement will be else. So whatever print in else condition, it will execute. Let's discuss example of else condition. So let me say a equals to 1, sorry, a equals to 0 because a is equals to 1. Print a, which it will not print. So after if, let's say if a is less than 0, colon print a, else colon print a is not equals to 0 and not less than 0. So let's print, and then also you can print value of a, right? Save and F5. So let's say it says a is not equals to 0 and not less than 0. So these three statements, if, else and else, are used regularly while we are coding some program or developing any application. So keep practicing on these statements. I will make another tutorial for loop, but now I am only showing how to use if condition in loop, right? For loop, right? So let me initialize here array over here which says apple, mango, and cherry, etc. So let's change the variable name fruits, right? So for x in fruits, colon, this is the syntax loop to write for loop. So what it says, for variable is x in fruits, like whatever in fruits, copy it one by one in the value of x and then print, right? So let's print x over here, right? And then we want to break if we found x equals to apple, so I want to remove this bracket. If found this, then print it, print the value of x and then break the statement. So let's save it and print it. So it prints apple 2 times over here. So let me tell you how it executes. So let me say value of x is cherry, So let me print cherry, save, and F5. Okay, so let me remove this and save, and F5. What it will print? Cherry. Okay, so it says mango, it print mango, oh sorry, it prints apple first, then mango, then it finds cherry, and it will break the loop when finds cherry over here. So it prints this statement also, and it prints this statement. So that's it for today. Hope you will like this video about statements in Python. If you want to ask any question, you can mention it in comment section. Also, please subscribe my YouTube channel if you like my videos, give thumbs up, and like my Facebook page, which is UK Tech. I will share my Facebook page link under description. See you with the next tutorial, inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of UK Tech. Our topic for today is about loops. What are loops and how to perform loops in Python. So let's start with loops. The loops are to repeat the cycle of a condition unless the condition returns false. Loops are a for loop and while. The syntax of for loop is for. Here is a variable which default value is nothing, just a int. In, let me say I am giving here text over here TUY, and then colon here, and then print x, right? So let me save it and run it. Let's show the result, right? Hi is about this one, so let me comment this by shift hash, right? So what for loop says, for x, the length of toy will print here one by one. It will store the value of toy one by one in x, and then print unless toy terminates the length equals to 0, right? So it's a simple and easy syntax. Let's see an example over here by initializing a array, right? So let's say example open array, right, to execute a loop. So let's say a equals to array over here, and then let me add some value over here. So let's print these value over here. For here I will say so let's print the value of array A by initializing the in A, and then colon, and then print, right? So let's print A over here, and let's save it, Control S, and for run to execute the program, press F5. So it says here I just forgot to print B over here. Okay, let's run back. So it will say Monis, Sophia, Danish, Khalid. Let's use if with for loop, right? Let's say if with So I will break the condition if I got my answer over here, right? If B equals to Danish, B equals to Danish, print B and break and then print over here, right? So save and 5 say syntax error. So here I forgot colon, right? Yes, and print over here. So I don't want to print over here. After this statement returns true, we break the loop. So let me say I want to print over here in the statement and says let's say Danish is the youngest one, right? So let's say Control S and F5 and let's say it's print here Danish is the youngest one. So in my previous tutorial I mentioned that I will discuss about ranges and while I will discuss loop. So let's see what ranges print in for loop. What is range? Sequence of number, and by default the starting point of range is 0. Loops, we are initializing a range over here in for loop. The variable is v, in which range of loop is about 20. So let's print over here colon print v over here and let's run it. So it display the values, the items are 20 but the starting point is 0 and the ending point is 19. So let's say we have to give a value. The starting point should be 4 and the ending point up to 20, right? So Control F and F5, let's see what it will return. So its starting point is 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8 up till the value is 19, right? So let's say we have to skip to after 4, right? So let's save it and F5 and let's see what it will return. 6, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So the range is a sequence of number. Whatever sequence we are giving over here, it will display over here. So what I have done, this is my limit. After each 2 digit it will show a value, but the starting point will be 4. So it says 4 and then a skip 2 and 6 and then a skip 2, then 8 is skip to 10. So let's say we have to terminate if the value of v is equals to 10, then colon over here, then break over here and says, and let's say it will print till 8, right? So what it will print, let's see. So it print 4, 6 and 8 only, right? So if we say we just want to print 10 over here, so let's print this value. For that I have to print over here Control S, F5 and then run this loop. So it returns only 10. Let's try while loop. The syntax of while loop is different from for loop. Discuss about while loop. In while loop the syntax is different than for loop. So let's say we have to initialize a variable over here and then assign and then use keyword while and then define our condition over here, which is I is less than equal to 6 colon, then print whatever our statement is. So let's say I want to print over here and then we have to increment the value. Let's save it and then run it, and let's see what the result is. So it display 1 2 3 4 5 6 till 6, right? So in while loop we have to use range, right? So let's remove this condition and we will say I in range, right? And we have a variable over here. I will say the range is up to 8, right? So let's run it at 5. How this I have to print over here a string variable with int, right? So we can say range return result as column, and let me give comma over here and 5. Let's run it. So it says range return result as 2, range result as 3, 4, 5, 6. You can use print statement with a string and import by using comma over here, right? If we want to use if condition in while statement, what it will do. So let me say if I is less than equals to 10, right, colon, if I is equals to 6, colon, print the value of I is, let me colon string comma 1, and then break the loop over here, and then I plus equals to 1, and say I is equals to this, right? I just save it, realize it again over here, and let's save it and run, right? So it returns the value of I is 6, right? So let's say I don't want to use this one statement, and I don't want to use this one statement, and let's see, right, Control S and F5, it will return all the values till 10, right? So hope you will understand the for loop and while loop in this tutorial. If you have any query about for loop, while loop, ranges, etc., leave the question in comment section. I will reply as soon as possible. Stay connected with our channel. See you with another tutorial, inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of UKTechtions. Today we will discuss about functions in Python, how to declare functions. If you still not subscribe our channel, please subscribe our channel. It's on YouTube as UKTechtions, and also like our Facebook page, which is UKTechtions. So let's start. Print function. So what are functions? Another programming language, function is also known as method, right? Function is a set of statements that execute some output, may take inputs and process set of statements that execute some output. It may take inputs and process output. Functions are about to perform block of codes. So the syntax of function is use key def, which means definition, right? The name of the function, my first function, then these brackets over here, then colon, and then we define the statements over here. So let's say for our first function we just want to print inside our first function. So let's see, is it printed or not, right? Control S and Control F5. So Control S and F5. So it returns functions, right? But it doesn't return this statement over here. Right? So what we will do over here, we will type my function over here and then brackets and then save and then F5. So it will display inside our first function, right? So this is the way to initialize a method. This is the method body over here. This is the signature of a method over here. After calling this method, we will get the inside functionality. So what is this? Functionality, right? So let's say I want to create a function over here which says def sum. I want to add parameters over here, a and b, and let's say colon print the sum of a and b is comma a plus b in bracket. So what I did here, I make a sum function over here and I want to add some variables and display the result over here, right? So this is the way we can use parameters in function. Right, so let's print this function. So what I will do, control space and it will say sum, right, sum, and then these brackets over here, control S and F5. So I missed to add the values over here, so I will say 1, let's save it, and S F5. So what it returned, the sum of a and b is 10. Inside this body I can do more, right? What I will do over here, I will say a equals to 9, b equals to b equals to 7, and print the sum of a into b is a into b, right? So I want to tell you about, I give the values over here which is 9 and 1, right? But we are initializing the a value of a over here and b over here again to print the sum. So let's save by control S and run to F5, and what we give and what we get, the sum of a and b is equals to 63. Let me create another method to show you how to define default variable value of a parameter, right? So let's say first name equals to, so let's say I'm creating a function over here which returns my name, which return first name. then here I will concatenate these strings. My first name is concatenate sign, and then save, and here I will type first name and give my input over here, and Control S and F5. What it will say, my first name is Roj, but in case I forgot to mention the value over here, so it will pick the default value from here, which is says Khalid, right? So let me remove this value. Control X, S, Control S, F5, and it will return my first name is Khalid, which is default value, right? We can also make this as a return type over here, which says return first name, and we can use this method to return the value in a string over here, which says first name equals to Control S and F5. So let me print first name over here. So it prints Khalid. We can make functions that may return a string, int, and others. So let me say I want to return here a variable which value is 8889, and let me return a also. It also display the value of a, which is integer, right? The syntax in Python to create a function is just type def definition, function name, brackets over here. If you want to declare a parameter over here, you can declare a parameter, then colon, and then the block of this method, or says method body. You may return the values by saying return whatever parameter you want to return over here. So that's it for today. Hope you will like this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Also share it with your friends. You can ask questions on comment section. I will reply you soon. Stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy. See you with another tutorial, inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of UKTechtions. Today we will discuss about classes and objects in Python. So let's begin with the classes. What are classes? Classes are blueprint or a prototype, right? And what are objects? Objects are the values or the variables or the methods within class. Class is nothing without objects. Let's share an example of a class. We build a house and the house is empty. So we create some objects, or we design some objects, like we furnished our house, we build a garden, add swimming pool, add scenery. So without these objects, house is a simple or clean place, right? But after adding objects like furniture, so the house become a beautiful place to live, right? So class is simple a prototype, and objects are the valuable data in the class. How to create class in Python, and what are the techniques or what are the small little things that we have to understand while we are creating a class in Python. So we use keyword class with the small letters, and let's say the person's name of a class, and then call. So the class is created. Whenever we create a class in Python, we have to define the purpose of a class. So we define a string which is known as docstring. So let's create a string here which say the class is about person. This is known as docstring. What it's known as docstring with double underscore and doc. It's a small description of a class. So let's create some variable here which is a, b and c. The values will be 0, 10, 20, right? Let's save it. And now we will create here the object of a class. To create an object, we will say person, the variable person equals to the name of our class which is person, right? That's it. And let's print these variable in which are initializing person class. So let's say person and we will add a. So let's save it and F5 to run it. Sorry, invalid syntax due to we have to add here the comma. Now save it and run, and it says a equals to 0, right? So we created here the class, and this is the object of a class, right? So let me tell you a very tricky thing. Whenever a class is created, it's build a constructor by default. The constructor look like this: def underscore double underscore init and double underscore and then this, and this self is the instance of this particular object. So let's say self, or let's say print hi. So whenever we created this class, it will print hi whenever we create the object. So it print hi. Because I not add the quotations, it shows an error here. So whenever we call this class, it will print hi. So let's say print these three variables over here, which is person.b, and then save it and F5, so it will print this, right? So if I want to add parameters to these constructor, let's say I'm describing here a, b and c, e and c. So let's see, we will say this is self and then a. It's belong to the value a here, then self dot b will belong to the value b here, and self dot c equals to value c here. So what it says, this is the instance of the class. So we are storing the values of these a, b and c in this class variables, right? So let's say we will enter here for example, a is equals to 12, b equals to 13 and d equals to 20, c equals to 20, and then we will print F5 to run, and the modules say hi 12 and 30, because the self is the current instance of the class, so it will store the value of a. This is the value of a here, which defines self a, and adding the value of this a into this a, which means this a, right? We can add comment here, instance of this. These are the variable initialized above the method, so these are the global variables. But if we initialize it under the class or under the method, so it will be scope of this particular method. So we can only use these variable within the method, right? So let's say we have to create some getter setter of person class. So what we will do, we will say let's say name, age, height, weight, gender, status, and that's it. We will say the value of set name will be here, so we will add name here, and this, and the self dot name will store the name, right? And the def name get name, that's it, will return self dot name, right? So what I will do, I will print here, print person dot get name, right, get name, and then I will also here set the name of the person dot set name, and name will be, let's say, Uruj. Save it and F5. So it says we have not initialized any of the values, so let's initialize some values over here. So I forgot to add the self object here, which is the current instance of the class, and let's save it and F5 run it, and let's see what it will return. And same with this, we have to define self here. And so I just forgot to add return to return the value of this particular variable. So let's say return and then save it and F5, so it will return the value Uruj here. So the most important thing in this class is to define the particular instance of the class by writing self current instance of the class. Let's say if we want to add a loop or define a loop within the class of, so we will say def and let's say count, and we have to give here self, and then we will say an integer value which is a, and that's it. And now we will say for x in range, and then we will define the variable here, and then we'll say print, right? Let's use the string here, the value of a is, and then we will add here the value of a, and then run it by calling here print method, right? So we are using here person class, person object, and using count method, and we want to define the param of param a value, which is 10. So let's run it and it prints. So let me see, I mistakenly type a, I want to return x here. So let's run it again and let's see. So it's returned the value here 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 till 9, and that's it. The purpose to define the class in deep is to give you the maximum knowledge of how to use a particular class, what is the structure of a class, and how to use the class in Python. Whenever we learn new about something related to our occupation, like languages or structures or algorithms, we have to practice on it, right? If we learn it for a time and then leave the practice, we will become blank about it after some time, right? So keep practicing on what you are learning, right? You have to gain information for yourself. So if you learn more, you have more knowledge, you can become a good teacher or a good mentor or a good programmer or a good developer. The basic of learning is to learn little and practice more. So keep practicing, keep asking, keep learning. Stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay connected with our channel. Also like our Facebook page. If you are not a subscriber of this page, please subscribe this page. Also share your views on comment section, and we will create more videos for you. Catch you with another tutorial, inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum friends, hope you all are fine. We are back again with an exciting tutorial about inheritance in Python. If you are not a subscriber of this channel, please subscribe this channel. Also like our Facebook page and invite your friends, which is at UKTechScience tutorial. So let's begin with inheritance. So when we discuss about class, we use keyword class here and then define the name of the class and then colon. So it will create our class. If we use pass keyword here, it means we are just passing an empty line by creating our class. So quickly see what are scopes. Scopes are nothing, just a concept of global and local variables. If we are using a variable which is initialized within the function or inside the function, which it means it's a local scope, right? Inside function, right? And if the variable is outside the function, means it's a global scope. It can be accessed by multiple methods, right? And so if we want to assign some value inside the function of a global variable, we just write here global and the variable name, that's it. So we can use it within the method also, right? So let's define 2 or 3 variables here, so we can use it in the inheritance and also while learning about scope and identity. So let's initialize some variable over here, which is x, y and z. So then we will assign values over here. X equals to 10, y equals to 20 and z equals to 30. So let's create a method over here which will sum these variables, right? So we are not initializing any variable inside the function, but we are only using the variables outside the functions. So let's say sum of x and y, and then comma x plus y, and let's copy them. Let's copy this. So that's it. So let's create here the object of user, which is user equals to user, then user dot sum, right? And then let's, because we are using the variable over here within the class of a class, so let's say self here, self x dot self y, then have to just control as to save and F5 to run, and let's see the results. So it say the sum of x and y is 30, x and z is 40, and y and z is also 40. So hope you will understand the definition of scope. So we discuss about global variables over here. So let's say if we want to describe here, if we want to add a variable over here which is a equals to 50, and then we will use here the variable inside this tag, what it will do, right? So let's remove this one and say a equals to self x plus a, right, and F5, and it will say 60. So if I want to use variable over here, user dot x, it will display the variable, right? It will display the value of this particular variable. If I print it, I didn't print this variable, let me print this variable, got print, and then we will do this and save it and F5, and then it will a. So let's say a is my variable, and I am saving here the data. Let me remove this, and let's say I am initializing here apple, mango, cherry, right? So let's say I want to iterate these values. So what I will do, iterate items, right? So what I will do, iterate, and then I will say a, right? I'm iterating a. I will do nothing but next, and then we'll say iterate a, sorry, item, right? This is my variable over here. Okay, so let's say unmatched values, so it says apple. A list of fruits here. So here is a list of fruits that we want to iterate one by one. So what we have do, we initialize the item and say iterate these items, and one by one. So we will say next iterate the item, current item, and then if we want to print more item, what we will do, we will just copy this, and it will store the next item here. So it will print here the mango, and then the third last one item, which is banana, I guess, sorry, cherry. So it's a indentical space. So let me erase these spaces and then run it and see what happened. It's print like a loop. So hope you understand these two topics, scope and iterations. Let's move to inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance to grabs the functionality or properties or attributes of its parent class. Let's say class sign up, right? We want to sign up, we want to create a sign up form, and for this we have to use user attributes, right? So what we have done, we have a class sign up to that will access some methods of user. So let me create here some methods. Let's say def name, then give the variable over here which is name, and then we'll say column over here and print name, right? And then same with the age. While using methods, be careful to not indent spaces. It will show runtime error. So what we have done, so let's create here user. So let me initialize here a def function which is def creds. Creds means let's say credentials, right? And that's it, print hi. I just want to show you what sign up class will return. We will say sign up, and that's it. What it will return, let me show you here. So we will say sign up dot name. The name is let's say so let's say the name is Uruj, and let's save it and run it. So here I forget to say self to get the current instance of the class, and now let's control F, control S and F5 to run and see what it will return. It's say Uruj, right? Same we will do with this. So we are using the property of user class within the class of sign up, right? So let's say we are using sign up dot threads. So what it will return, right? F5 to run, F5 to run, right? Self is missing here too, so it return hi. So it's important to write the current instance of the class. You have to write self in the methods to get the current instance of the class. So let's say we want to use the variables assigned in the user class. Let's say it's x, so let's print these value by print, and then x. That's it. So inheritance means to capture the functionality of a class which we want to inherit, right? So we inherit user class and sign up class to grasp the properties or attributes of these core methods of user class in the sign up class, right? So if we use the approach of inheritance, we can achieve multiple inheritance or reusability of classes in Python. Right? So hope you will like this tutorial about inheritance scope and iterations. If you like this tutorial, do share it with your friends, comment on comment section if any query, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to get instant update of tutorials related to Python, Java, Android and more. Stay connected, stay blessed, stay happy and healthy. We will catch you soon, inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of Wikidictions. So today's topic is about Python modules, how to create modules in Python and what are the effective ways to use module in Python. What are the built-in modules in Python? Press the subscribe button. Also like our Facebook page, which is Wikidictions tutorial. So let's begin. So I created here a class and some variables over here and created a module file over here, which extension is .python, and I created a simple Python file of car here, right? Module is to gather information or store some set of information like functions, classes, variables, dictionaries, arrays, etc. and we can use it or reuse it multiple times in other classes or in other Python files, right? So we created a module here which named as module vehicle right here. So let me zoom it and show you. This is the module vehicle, and here I created a file with Python extension. So let's create a class over here which known as car, right? And to use module, we just say keyword import module vehicle, right? So this is module vehicle and this is the class. So let's say I want to create a object of this particular vehicle class, right? So let's see what this module gives us, right? So let's say module vehicle dot, right? So it's give a, b, c variables and this is the class. So let's call this class and let's say this is the variable equals to this, and these are the this is the object of the class, right? And what we have to do here, we will say vehicle dot set company. The company is equal to Suzuki. Okay, then the vehicle dot set model. The model of Suzuki is Alto, right? And then set price, right? So the price is about 7 lakh, right? We just set these values in this file. So let's see what we get if we print these, right? So just get the price first, right? vehicle dot get company, vehicle dot get model, right? We just set the values over here and get the values over here, so just control S and F5 to run and see. Price is 7 lakh, company is Suzuki, and model is Alto, right? So let's say we want to import built-in file which is maths, right? Math is a built-in Python file. So let's say what math object have, right? So let's just say, so let's say acos h, and these are sine 10. So let's see how to use these functions, right? So let's say we use power, right? Power means to just give the power of 2 by 2, right? So save it and F5 run, and let's wait. So we have to initialize these values and print the value in this variable. So let's say power of A is 2 by 2 equals to whatever it will return, right? So let's say what it returns. So let's say 4.0, right? So if we want to say 3, so save it and F5, then see what it will return. It will return 8, right? So let's try another module, which JSON, right? So let's create here a dictionary. So the value name equals to Uruj, and then age colon is 20, then height colon 5.5 and save, right? Then what we will do here, we will, so now what we will do here, we will say JSON dot dump, right? What dump means? To array, list or anything into JSON format, right? So we will shift this and store it in some variable. So let's say variable equals to b, and that's it. Now if we want to print it, then just print b, right? Save it and F5 to run. So dumps, F5 to run. Now let's see, it's just print our JSON, right? So what we learned today, we just learned how to use modules. What are the predefined modules or built-in modules in Python? There may be a lot, but I use 2 of them. The first one is math and the second one is JSON, and I created here the module vehicles. So hope you will like this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, share it with your friends. Also invite your friends on our Facebook page, which is UKTechtions Tutorial. Stay blessed, stay healthy, stay happy, stay connected with us. Catch you later with other Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to UKTechtions Tutorial. So we have completed our milestones to teach Python basics, such as we covered the topic in our tutorials, like from installations, classes, objects, operator, statement, loops, and etc. So today we will discuss about user input and how to set or save data in JSON array. So before moving to user input, if you are not a subscriber of this channel, please subscribe this channel. Also like our Facebook page, which is UK Textions Tutorial. In our previous tutorial we learned about how to import modules, right? So today we will import a module here which is JSON. So here we import a JSON and now we initialize an array for JSON. We are initializing keys here for JSON. What is JSON? JSON is a lightweight format for storing or transporting data, right? So what we are doing here, we are initializing our keys here. So we will take input of our values and store the keys and the values in JSON format, right? Using dictionary. So my keys are name, age, date of birth, then gender, and let's say height, right? So that's it. So let's create a dictionary, empty dictionary over here. So just create an empty dictionary. Now let's create a for loop over here and say keys values. No, we are using here for loop to store values by using these keys. So in array for JSON, right? So that's it. So after that, now what to do, we will use a variable a, or let's say input value. This is the variable, and now to take input from a user we use input command here, right? And then we use these brackets and then enter a message here. So let's say enter your and then whatever variable here. So here is the key. This will be key, right? So enter your, this will be key, and then we will say plus concatenations and then 2 spaces. So what it will do, it will take input by saying enter your key. The key contains these keys. For example, it say enter your name, or enter your age, enter your date of birth, enter your gender, or enter your height, right? And then it will save in this variable, right? And then this variable will be stored by dictionary. So dictionary for JSON, it will store the key and this will be the value, input value, right? And then in the last, when these will fill, we will do a variable a will store JSON dot dump. It will dump the data of dictionary, right? What it will do, it will dump all the data of this dictionary for JSON, right? And then we will print this JSON. After creating this JSON, we will print the variable a, right? So let me before running it, let me discuss what I did here. I created here an array and stored the keys over here, which named as name, age, date of birth, gender and height. And then I created here a dictionary, empty dictionary, to store the values and keys together, and then transform or format this dictionary into JSON, right? So then I created a for loop over here and used the variable key, and then called this array to get the input about these keys such as name, age, date of birth and gender, height. So it will generate some values by using user input, right? Whenever I enter a value over here, like entering the name, it will store in this variable, and then this variable will be stored by using this key, right? Whatever key is here representing as name or age or date of birth, the key will store here and the value will store here. And then after the loop finished or exit, the dictionary will be transformed or formatted by JSON by using json.dumps, right? And then we print a variable. So let's run it. Enter your name. So let's say Z, right? So it says enter your age, so let's say 21, and it says date of birth, so the date of birth is 1st Jan 2000. Then what is the gender? It's a male gender. And then what is the height? It's about 5.8, and that's it. So we store some values here. It prints the dictionary formatted by JSON and then print it. In this tutorial we learned how to take input from a user. So hope you will like the video. If you like this, give thumbs up to this video. Also do share it with your friends. Keep remember our channel in your prayers. Do practice, because when we do practice we learn more. Code it, learn it, and be happy, be safe. See you with another exciting tutorial in